And this is 1.211. That's 11 in the book. Number 6 online. And we may have done one or two of these. I don't know if we have or not. Okay. Have we done this one? I don't think we have. Now, this is you could use this as a test question. Yeah, I mean, not a test question. It is a test question, but it is also a calculator question. So let's pull up our calculator. And there is our calculator. And I'm trying to move it over, and it's not going to let me. There we go. And y is equal to 2x cubed plus 6x squared. Now, the reason you have to be careful with this, well, you don't, because it's not hidden behavior. It's not a hidden behavior problem. It is you got a local min and a local max. Hit graph. There it is. So you know it's C. You can match C up pretty good. Well, what if you want to find the local min and the local max? Well, for those of you that don't know, because I don't know how many of you know how to use your calculator, it's second trace. Second trace. And then you can find the local min and the local max. So here we go. Second trace. Now I want to find the max. And I go over here and I put the left-hand side right there, enter. Right-hand side right there, enter. And the guess right there. So you need to write that down. That is your max, to negative 2, comma 8. Negative 2, comma 8. Now let's find the min. Second trace, min. You really don't have to pick it. It doesn't matter which one you pick. Because when you put the left and the right-hand side, it's going to zero in on that area. Does anybody know why you pick a left-hand side and a right-hand side? Anybody know?
No.
Wow. The reason you pick a left-hand side and the right-hand side is you're telling the calculator where to look. And that it decreases the amount of time the calculator does the mathematical calculations. So basically you're telling it where to look. Capiche? All right. So that's your min, 0, 0. So now you got a local min and a local max and a local min. How many times does that turn? 2. What is the 3 right here? The 3. What's 3 minus 2 minus 1?
2.
2. So you have 2 turning points, and those turning points are your local min and local max.
Do you put a comma between the 2 brackets?
It says use a comma to separate, yeah. So if I was to put it in, I would say parentheses. What was the first one?
Negative 2, 8.
Negative 2, comma 8. Parentheses. Comma.
Okay.
Parentheses. What was the other one? 0, 0?
0, 0.
And hopefully you'll feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
That is a test question, so make sure you know that. That is a calculator drill / test question. You won't see many of them, but there might be one like that on a test. Capiche?
Yes.
What number was that?
That was
6.
Okay, so that's number 6. Let's see if it's any different. Same type question. So 1.3, number 53 in the book, number 15 online. Suppose the cost of business property is $1,900,000 and a company depreciates it with a straight line method. Suppose V is the property after 6 years. Suppose V is the property after 6 years. after X years, and the line representing the value as a function year passes through the point, blah, blah, blah. Okay, what are these two things right here?
Those are your coordinates,
Numbers.
and you have to find a slope for them.
Those are points, right?
Right.
So what do you do with 2 points? No matter how big they are, you find the slope and the what? The equation. Now, I don't know what they're asking for, but that's the first thing I'm going to do. So I want you to take those 2 points, and I want you to find the slope, and I want you to find the equation. Because the chances are they're going to ask you to predict something at year 12 or something. I don't know what the question's going to ask. And this is a test question because it does cover slope and the point slope equation, which I do test you on a great deal on the Unit 1 test. So, write down the question. I need to turn on my handy dandy whiteboard. So, Jake, did you ever find out who LSU was playing?
What do you mean? They play Texas?
Weekend.
Texas.
They are playing Texas. Isn't that the other game of the week?
That is the
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's game day.
Oh, yeah, that's where people at Clemson go down and sacrifice live animals to the host of the ESPN, you know, give up their first child and stuff.
Well, who's Georgia got this week? Helen Keller School.
Another
Beth Fly?
Cupcake High School. I'm not even watching it.
You're not a true football fan.
No, just because I don't act like a damn idiot. No, I'm not a true football fan.
Hey, do you like baseball?
No, I hate it.
It's so slow.
I like golf. I like NASCAR. Well, I did like NASCAR. I haven't watched it since Dale Earnhardt died. But I did like NASCAR, and I love golf.
What's cool about NASCAR? They just go in left turns.
It's cool about
Another left turn.
Golf, dude, is freaking awesome.
Jack, do the problem. Just be quiet. Just do the problem. You're hurting my feelings, man, and I'm a cupcake. You're
They
offending
need
me,
to change
Jake.
it up, make them go right every now and again.
You're offending me, Jake.
Jake needs to change his head up, turn it.
left turn, right?
Yeah. NASCAR, I'll sum it up for you.
Actually, no, they do have where you can turn right, but nobody likes it, so they don't watch it. That's called Watkins Glen. They do turn right. Nobody watches it.
Well, that's dumb. I'd watch it.
It's not very exciting when they go around Watkins Glen. I don't even know why they have it. It's called money. Sponsors.
Hey. money's the way
Okay,
to-
50, comma,
I love money, man.
1. Well, that's about 90% of the population loves money. 450,000.
Pause. Yep, I did that wrong.
8,000.
Bernie loves money. That's why Bernie's going to take care of you.
Heck yeah, go Bernie, baby.
Bernie, everything's free.
Fill the barn.
Except for those haircuts that he has. Good God, why don't that man get a decent haircut?
Oh, man.
Isn't he gonna legalize weed everywhere?
He's
I
gonna
don't know,
legalize
Bernie.
everything and give you everything, man. He's gonna pay for your education. He's gonna give you a free paycheck. He's gonna do everything. Bernie's gonna take care of
He
you.
gonna drug you up, too?
And he's gonna live in his 3 mansions while you live in California in the sidewalks with the other 300,000 that are out there.
He's only gonna be there
That's
for
right.
about 4 years. He's close to cutting the string.
Don't say that. Somebody, you're gonna offend somebody.
It's the Russians.
All right, this is x of 1. This is y sub 1. This is x sub 2. And this is y sub 2.
Hey, quit cussing, man. Damn.
So, slope is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So that's going to give me parenthesis minus parenthesis over parenthesis minus parenthesis. And that's going to be 500,000
Oh, shit.
minus 1,450,000 over 60
It's gonna be 95,000.
minus 50.
It's gonna be
I'll do the
95,000.
denominator for y'all. 10.
My sunglasses on too.
And the top is going to be negative what?
Oh, yeah, he's right. He's right.
What's the top going to be?
Negative 950,000.
If that's what you say, somebody confirm it.
That's right.
Give me
Okay?
zero, man. I'd put that in scientific notation.
All right, now, watch this, y'all. This is a trick I learned in the war. So that'd be 95,000.
Negative 95,000.
So the slope is 95,000. So now I've got a slope and I've got a point, one of these points. I'm going to use the point slope equation. Now, Hubert, how do you know to do that? Well, one, I'm a math teacher. And two, whenever you are given a point, 2 points, they're usually going to ask you to do something with the slope and the point slope equation. Usually. But may not, I don't know. But it's extra help. It's extra for you because you can put it in your notes. Point slope equation, y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. To give me y minus parentheses equals parentheses times x minus parentheses. And this y is going to be 500,000. And this is going to be negative 95,000. And this is going to be 60.
12.
Now, why did I pick the 500,000 and the 60?
Easier.
Keep it simple, KISS method. You're not going to pick the biggest BA problem, biggest BA number. Don't pick the BA number, okay? Pick the smaller number. It's a whole lot easier. So y minus 500,000 is equal to negative 95,000 x plus, somebody multiply 95,000 times 60. Tell me what you get.
5.7 million.
5,700,000.
Sir.
And now you're going to bring the 500,000 over, so that's going to be plus 500,000. And that's going to give you 6.2 million. Help me out.
Yes, sir. 6.2.
So y is equal to negative 95,000 x plus 6.2. Okay, y'all write that down. I don't know if they're going to ask for it, but that is the slope, and that is the line for that. That's for that line. So what are you talking about? You're talking about a line that has a y-intercept of 6.2 million. So let's lay the heck up here. 6.2 million. It's got a y-intercept, and it's going to cross 50. That's 50 and 1.4 million, like that, and 60 and 500,000. So what the heck is it doing?
It's going down.
It's going down. Okay, so now I don't know what they're asking for on the B. What is the annual rate of change? Annual rate of change is the same as the slope.
Annual rate is the same.
It should be. Now I don't know if they're asking in a different context. Hold on. So that's going to be negative 9,500, 95,000.
So why isn't that 10 thing?
Write stuff down. This is too important.
Probably left-handed.
I don't know what they're asking for there. They might be asking for it over. Hold on a second. Yeah, they're just, it's just the same thing. Okay, now what's your question? Why is the 10 not what?
He was asking why the 10 was not negative, but 60 minus 50.
Yeah, I inserted them backwards.
Yeah,
I put
that's why you gotta write and I do, and if you come to my office 10 years from now and ask me to find the slope of something, I'm going to do it exactly like that. And I've got 3 degrees. If I've got 3 degrees and I write it like that, then what do you think you ought to do?
Do it like
And
that.
then you won't make careless what?
Steak.
Errors.
Errors.
Errors. Clemson. Okay, next.
What's the game?
Hey.
Where are you from? Belton. I'm from Belton. Belton. Powdersville. Where the hell is that? Yeah, they those transplants, they pronounce every syllable. Okay.
They're just being careful.
I'm making countless errors.
1.417/7. This is like number 7 on your homework for 1.4. It's also like number 17 in your book. Pendleton, settle down. All right, let's do it. So this is a test question, and it's like one we've done before.
Awesome.
That's when you get Y by yourself, right?
Yep. And I'm going to do both. I'm going to do the parallel and the perpendicular. So x minus 2y minus 9 is equal to 0. Parallel, 7, negative 4, 7, negative 4. Give y'all a minute to work on it. There's 14 of y'all up there. I can't see for one person. It looks like 15. Pendleton, can y'all count? Looks like there's 15 up there. Check me, please.
We have 15.
That means everybody's there,
Yeah.
I think. While y'all working on it, I'm gonna go ahead and take the roll so that way y'all won't self-combust and, blow up on everybody.
Me.
I think the 300 at.
Okay, this is, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
60.
7, 9,
Already did that.
15.
Pendleton.
Pendleton, y'all are doing good.
245.
260 times 15.
Y'all are all here. Anderson is
So
here.
negative 390 or 39 pounds.
Yeah. And then you add the 4,200 to that negative 3,900. I give you 3.
390 plus
4,200.
42.
Everybody's here.
I was at a 300. Negative 300.
It's always the opposite reciprocal, yes.
Just try to solve it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you gotta get the y. Point slope equation.
So I'm not
Always
sure.
solve the y. You always solve the point slope equation. Get quiet, y'all. I can't talk while y'all are talking. Okay? You always solve the point slope equation for y. Okay? So you solve the first one for y.
Parallel is also
That's your X.
And this one's gonna be the opposite reciprocal.
That's your X1. And that's
Negative 2y
X1, Y1.
equal to negative x plus 9, and then divide by negative 2.
Okay,
Negative
cool.
2,
Okay.
negative 2. Y is equal to 1/2 x
Half X.
minus 9/2. Okay, so did everybody get 1/2 x minus 9/2?
yes.
Okay, so therefore, this m is going to be equal to 1/2, and this m is going to be equal to negative 2/1, or
That's right.
negative 2. So now I use my point slope equation. Y minus parentheses equals parentheses times x minus parentheses. This is x of 1. This is y sub 1.
So I did it this way.
This is x of 1. This is y sub 1. Negative 4, 1/2, and 7. Y plus 4 is equal to 1/2 x minus 7/2. Y is equal to 1/2 x minus 7/2 plus what? 8/2. So our final for the parallel is y equal to 1/2 x plus 1/2. Now y'all do, if you haven't done the perpendicular, you do the perpendicular. Make sure I haven't made a mistake. Who plays Thursday night? Anybody know?
There's only one. Yeah, NFL starts tonight, so it's the Bears and the Packers. There's only one other D1 game.
NFL can go to hell.
Yeah. North Greenville plays tonight. I think it's Northwestern.
Yeah, I know a couple of people that play at North Greenville.
Hey, you going?
Newberry.
Newberry, that's it. Yeah, I knew it started with N.
But who plays on T? Usually they have a college football game on Thursday night.
No, they don't got one tonight.
Uh,
That's what the Roar was saying this morning.
He listens.
what?
That's a Drew Clinton thing.
Dang
What?
right. The Roar.
What's that?
It's a Clinton.
Radio station for the Clips and Tigers.
Dude, that's the only thing that plays in the truck. The only thing.
That 105.5.
Yeah. But I do play music when Walt Tula gets on there because he's a dumbass. He gets me fired up. God, I hate him.
It's fired up.
Pendleton, do y'all listen to the Roar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not really.
Go Tigs.
All right, so here we go. Y minus parentheses equals parentheses, brackets, x minus parentheses. And what it goes here? Negative 4, negative 2, and 7. Y plus 4 is equal to negative 2 plus what? 14. Y is equal to negative 2x plus 14 minus 4.
N.
N.
And you feel good about yourself.
That's why I can go back to
It's number 17. Hold on. Hold on. Number 17 in the book. Number 7 online. 1.4, number 7. And I don't know which one they're asking for. Which one are they asking for? Perpendicular?
Parallel.
It says perpendicular. Yeah. So perpendicular would be negative 2x
You
plus
probably got
10.
to put y equals.
Well, hell with it. I ain't gonna worry about it. Okay.
Wait, why does N do something different?
What is the rule with parallel and perpendicular with M? With a parallel line,
Gotta
the
flip
slope
it.
is the same. Think about it. If you have a parallel line, what's the same thing with a parallel road? Exactly. A parallel line, the slopes are going to be what? Equal. So therefore, since this is 1/2, this has got to be what? 1/2, because it's parallel. Perpendicular, the slope is going to be the opposite inverse. So that's why I switched this to 2/1, and it's got to have the opposite sign. And that's a rule, that's a general rule of algebra. Well, we can't all make an A in the class, so there's some of us have to fail. So There we go, negative 2x plus 10. So we feel good about ourselves. Next. They have a radio station. 1.4, number 5/2.
Hi, Smith. How many questions?
Same one, same type, but this is just passing through the point. So this is easier. This is not as difficult as that last question. This is number 2, 1.4, number 2. So I think we did this one before, and I don't mind it, but I do want to let you know, so you know I'm not senile or anything. I do think we've done this one before. Somebody tell me if we have, or we've done one like it.
Probably done one like it.
Okay, so slope is equal to negative 6/7, and the point is negative 7. I believe we did this one. So now, since we're given a point and a slope, we use the point-slope equation. Y minus parentheses is equal to parentheses times x minus parentheses. And I plug in a negative 7, and I plug in a negative 6/7. Somebody checked? See if we've done this one before. Y plus 7 is equal to negative 6/7 times x. I'm just rewriting it right now. And then that's going to be y plus 7 is equal to negative 6/7 x plus what?
40.
Plus 6.
Oh, yeah.
X plus a 2, 7 cancel.
And then what is 6 minus 7?
Negative 1.
Yeah, we did this one.
No.
I don't think so.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, who's got a question? Pendleton, make sure you speak up if you got a question. I'm serious. Don't all speak at once.
That is point slope formula, right?
That's the point slope equation.
Equation.
Yeah,
And then what's the other thing called?
that's slope. Figure the slope on the previous one. We did y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1.
I'm getting my equation.
That's all right. That's what this whole section is for. This whole unit. It's basically a review section to make sure y'all know how to do basic algebra before we go into unit 2. That's why I want you to ask questions. Number 14. 1.4, number 14. Okay, we did that one.
We did it.
And this is the one problem
Oh,
we
okay.
did
What?
with all the big numbers and stuff.
Yeah, we did that one first. I don't know how we did it first, but we did.
It was on like a different section.
Okay. All right, the second one, this is number 15. I think it'll probably be like that one. Okay, the following table gives the number of drinks, blood alcohol, man certain, blah, 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 blah. The average rate of change, blah, blah, blah. What is it? Use the rate of change. Okay, we can do this one easily. Okay, see that little button right there? Click on that and send it to the Excel spreadsheet. Take it to the Excel spreadsheet. Now, let me go ahead and throw this disclaimer out because somebody's going to put on the, he makes us do Excel. I ain't made you do anything, okay? You can do this by hand, you can do it on your calculator, or you can do it on the Excel spreadsheet. I do the easiest way that I can show you on the board. The Excel spreadsheet, if I've got a chance to use the Excel spreadsheet, I'm going to use it, not because I'm trying to get you to use Excel, but because I can get it all on the board. Does everybody understand that? I hope you do. Because if you don't, you're going to put that on, he makes us use Excel. If I knew I wanted to take an Excel class, then I should have took Excel. Anyway, highlight those two areas, and then what? Insert. I use a dot plot. You can do whatever. It's a trick I learned in the war. All right? Now, here's another trick. Right click, Add trend line. Make sure it says linear because it is linear. And display equation on chart. Now, I'm going to do this several times because there's going to be many applications in this book that we do this. And there is your handy-dandy line. Hold on a second. I'll make it bigger. I know somebody's going to complain. There. So there is your slope and your what? Y-intercept. Now, if you want to do it that way, you can do it that way, or we can do it by hand. Just pick, because is it a straight line? Yes. So you can pick two of those points. Say again?
I said I already kind of guessed it by hand when I like subtracted 17 and 20.
Yeah.
So
good. So if you want to do it by hand, let's move this over, and let's do it by hand. So hold on a second. And I'm going to pick a point. I'm going to pick 6 and point 2. Now, why did I pick 6 and point 2?
Easiest.
Because you don't have a lot of decimals. That's the only one I'm going to be able to pick, because the other ones, I guess I'll pick the first one, 5 and point 17. 5 and point 17. So x of 1, y sub 1, x of 2, y sub 2. Slope is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Slope is equal to parentheses minus parentheses over parentheses minus parentheses. Y sub 2 is point what? Point 2. Y sub 1 is point 17. X sub 2 is what? 6 and 5. You don't need a calculator yet. For those of you that's on the calculator drill team, you don't need it yet. What's 20 cent minus 17 cent?
3 cents.
3 cent. And 6 minus 5 is 1. So our slope is equal to 0.03. Now, take that, and I'm going to use 6 and 0.2, and I want you to plug it in to the point slope equation. So therefore, you'll have another example of the point slope equation in your notes. I'm going to use 6 and 0.2. That's the one I'm going to use. And hopefully, y'all know what, 3 cents are. Hopefully, if you know what 6 times 3 pennies is, hopefully y'all know that's 18 cents. You don't need a calculator. I guarantee you somebody's reaching for it. Right, Jay?
I was. No.
That's right.
Gotta depend on something, don't we?
Dang right.
Why should we use our brain? Y minus parentheses equals parentheses times x minus parentheses. 0.2 and 6 and 0.03. So y minus 0.2 is equal to 0.03x minus, and 3 cents is 18 cents. Y is equal to 0.03x minus 18 cent plus 20 cent. So what if you owe 18 cent, you got 20 cent, what's the answer? 2 cent. Y equals 0.03x plus 0.02, and that should be, they have right there. And you should feel good about yourself.
Always.
All right.
Now, you could do that on a calculator, but I'm just going to show calculators later. I'm not going to go bouncing. I mean, you could, I'll show you right quick. You'd have to type them all in, and that's a pain on a calculator, but we'll do it because I want y'all to succeed.
I really appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
Means a lot.
So type it in, go to Stat, Edit,
Ooh.
and type them in. And it's going to be a pain in the butt. I'm just going to let y'all do it. Okay, well, I've got to do it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then go to the Y and type in 0.17, 0.2, 0.23, 0.26, 0.29, and 0.32.
Oh my God.
And now go to Stat, calculate first variable statistic, or linear regression, I'm sorry, thinking of
That's right.
linear regression, and go through and hit calculate, and you feel good about yourself. So that's 3 ways to find this question. Okay? What's so funny?
You just cracking us up. You're a funny guy.
What did I say? I said there's 3 ways to get this question right. That ain't funny.
No,
Settle
you
down,
just make
Pendleton.
math fun.
What?
You funny looking.
Pendleton, you got any questions?
No, sir.
No.
They hate me. They absolutely can't stand my class. That's what it is. That they hate me.
I don't blame him.
Be quiet, Jay.
All they heard what you said.
I think they mute me. I think that's what they do. That's what they probably do. That's fine.
I've done that a time or two.
Yeah, and I'd fuss at you for it. All right, this is 1.4. Okay, now y'all are sending. Okay, I know what you're doing now. All right, moving to 2. 2.17. This is 2.17. This is a test question. Half of y'all won't do this question. Why?
Looks like a lot of
Brackets.
Exactly, it's too much writing.
Pissed me off last night.
Math wouldn't all be that hard if they didn't add the alphabet to it. That's just retarded.
You distribute the 2 first.
Don't say retarded, you're going to offend somebody.
That's like trying to read a book and there's numbers in there. What?
Yeah, that would be called a phone book, Jake.
I meant just random numbers in words.
Jake,
You're
don't
really
fight
showing
it.
your
You're
age.
not going
They
to
ain't
fight
had
it.
phone books in like 30 years.
4x minus 14. If it wasn't for these numbers, you wouldn't have that phone you got in your pocket.
Come on.
4x
poor
minus
to-
14 minus 4. You'd be traveling. You'd be riding around with a phone bag in your car.
I can't even afford a cell phone.
Okay, whatever. You can. Shut up, Hubert. Shut up, Hubert. Shut up. Equals 3. Parentheses, negative or bracket, x minus 6 minus 5 times 2x minus 4.
3 different problems.
Okay, make sure I wrote it down correctly. For those of you that can see
That's
it,
what it is.
I look like I did.
You did.
This is not a calculator drill. This is an algebra drill to see if you know what you're doing algebra-wise. Okay? And calculus, your 130 next semester, hopefully that I'm going to be teaching, as well as the 140, 90% of calculus is algebra. If you can't do simple algebra, you're going to flunk calculus. So let's work our way inside out. Now you're going to notice something here that a lot of y'all don't do. Step by step. This is what y'all do. I'm going to show y'all what y'all do. Here's your blue lines of your notebook paper. Okay? And you write down this problem. You write down the problem right there, and you try to do it within 2 lines of your notebook paper. Okay? That is not the way you do it. Okay? That's the way you do it if you have several degrees and you're teaching. That's the way you do it. Okay? If you have no credentials, then you need to do it step by step.
I don't got credentials.
So, 2, bracket, 4x minus, what is 4? Is that 56?
Yes.
Minus 12x minus 8 equals 3 minus x plus 6 minus 10x plus 20.
It'd be plus it.
What?
Never mind.
That's all right. I just like to hear Pendleton say something. That's fine. If y'all just want to make up stuff, that's fine. Okay?
Got you.
All right, now, what is the next step before you distribute again?
Oh, I know. Bond like terms.
Simplify by combining what?
Like terms.
Terms. So we go through, and I'm going to put a square around this x, and a square around this, circle around this, and a circle around this. So 4x minus 12x is
Like
negative
15x.
minus 64.
and that would be 64, good. And then equals 3 brackets. We got a -1 and a -10, which is a -11x, and then a 6 and a 20, which is 26. All right, now you distribute the 2 and the 3 and finish it out. Have y'all ever heard of the Grim Reaper? The drink, the Grim Reaper?
Yeah.
What's it got in it?
I mean, I don't know. I've heard of it before.
Okay, thank you. All right. It's like a big, tall double glass, and you put like 6 or 8 liquors in it.
Cool.
Everything from bourbon to rum, tequila, and then you top it off with either Diet Coke or Coke. And I'm like,
Sort of like an Irish car bomb.
As
you fixing to worship the porcelain god is what you're fixing to do.
Is that what you got in that thing?
You think I'm gonna tell you?
Well, you remember
Probably
the
the
first
one
day
that called my department head.
all easy.
Well, you remember that first day you said we just needed some Jack? I brought Jack the second day.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You said we was too quiet. We just needed to lighten up. Drink
No,
some.
that was a Pendleton campus.
But I'm not gonna pass up the opportunity for Jack. Just kidding. I don't drink. I'm a good kid.
I don't have any girls here at the AC campus, but the Pendleton campus, Pendleton campus, y'all are writing notes, aren't you? Hopefully y'all are writing notes. Make sure you write notes. Every time Jake says something, write it down, okay?
Hold it against him.
I'll tell you what it means later on in the semester, okay? When Jake's not here, I'll tell you what it means. All right, so.
When I get famous, you just want some notes.
Yeah, exactly. When you get famous.
Yeah.
You gonna be Bernie's vice presidential candidate?
Of course.
2 times -8 is -16x.
You don't think I'm Democrat?
Minus 120. Okay, I'm doing math right now, Jake. You need to be quiet. 2 times 64 is -128 equals -33x plus what? 78.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
87.
And I'm gonna bring the 33. I'm gonna bring it across the river. And that's going to be a plus 33x. Bring the -128 across the river. And I have no idea what 33 and 16 is without thinking. So somebody tell me what it is. 49? No.
Oh, 17.
17. 17x is equal to 1 208, 206, what is it?
206.
And somebody divide that for me, because I'm just going to do, well, unless it's even. It's 17, 206 over 17. What?
It's 12.12.
That's all right. Just put 206 over 17. So let's see what the answer is. 206 over 17.
12.
That's it. That's a good test question. I'll give y'all 10, 20 of those on the test.
When it says
Please don't.
All right.
Simplify means a reduced fraction. Now, a lot of you are saying, well, Hubert, why didn't you write a mixed number? Mixed numbers are only used with units of measurement. And there are no decimals in the problem, so I'm going to go back to a mixed number. What if I had a decimal in the problem? If I had a decimal in the problem, then the general rule of mathematics says if you start with something, you what? You end with something. If you start with decimals, you end with decimals. If you start with whole numbers, you end with whole numbers. Since 206 over 17 is not a whole number, I just left it that way because the rule follows to use a mixed number for a unit of measurement. You don't say 206 over 17 miles. You say 12.6 miles or 12.4 miles. That's when you change an improper fraction into something unless you start with it. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people think you're supposed to change an improper fraction to a mixed number because it's what some third grade teacher told you. No. You only change an improper fraction to a mixed number for two reasons. One, the directions or the problem started with a mixed number, or it's a unit of measurement. Capiche?
He knows.
And next. That's a good question. I'm glad somebody sent that one, because that's a good one. Next one. I don't know what number it was. What number was that one? 4?
That was 7.
Okay, 7. There's another one. Number 7. See if it's any different. Go ahead and do it. I don't know. It's not the same, is it? No, it's not.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead and do it. I'll write it on the board for you. And the reason, it doesn't hurt any of you, especially if you're a water walker and you created algebra, it doesn't hurt you to go over some of these, I don't say complex, they're not tedious. How about tedious? Tedious algebra problems. So 3 brackets 2 times x minus 14 minus 4 times 2x plus 3 equals 4 bracket minus x minus 5 minus 4 2x minus 3. I posted on my Facebook page, was school running the normal hours today, and nobody said anything. I figured we were going to cancel classes today.
Why would we cancel class today?
Because we live in South Carolina. We cancel classes for a snowflake, man. You didn't know that?
I do know. I got some buddies who live at the beach and they already came back.
I'm surprised the front desk didn't get some calls. Do we have class today?
Sure we did.
People in Buffalo, New York drive through 7 feet of snow. We have one snowflake in South Carolina and people run in the ditch.
That's totally different. You know it.
And they buy milk and bread like they're going to make a milk sandwich or something. I don't understand why they buy milk and bread. I buy beer and pizza.
Amen.
No, you dip your bread into the milk. It's kind of like an Oreo.
It's getting soggy bread. You seem ready for the
When you pour and you're on a budget and it's snowing, you don't got much of a choice. Bet y'all feel bad.
That's all right. Bernie's going to take care of you, Jay.
Bernie's my guy.
He should be,
I don't surprise me.
because he's gonna give y'all everything.
Dang right.
A free passing grade.
Hey, I don't
I
need
just
that
wish
much
somebody would
burger.
give the man a haircut.
Who needs to get a haircut?
Bernie.
I'm about to cut the mullet. So that ain't no joke.
Most of the day.
I'm more than willing.
God, I hope that never comes back.
You tell him he gets votes, he'll definitely go to he'll do anything for some votes.
I don't know what's worse, a crazy socialist or a crazy Democrat, because we got two of them running. I don't know. A crazy old socialist or a crazy old Democrat.
Who's a Democrat?
Trump's the way to go, so it don't matter. Trump train.
You're a racist. You disagree with somebody, you call them a racist.
That's right.
3, 2x minus 28 minus 8x minus 12 equals 4 minus x plus 5 minus 8x plus 12 minus 6x
Love you, dog.
minus 40. Somebody check my math there.
Potato. Yes, sir.
Equals 4 minus 9x plus 17.
Yes, sir.
Negative 18x minus 120 minus 36x plus 68. Somebody help me there.
Yes, sir. 68.
I know we got calculator drill team members.
Yes, sir.
Y'all twirl that calculator on your finger like a basketball.
I can do that.
Pretty sad.
I'll talk about that.
What's 18 plus 36?
Positive
Negative
18.
18 plus 36.
Positive 18.
You missed it.
Okay.
That's impressive.
And 188.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And divide, you can reduce that down.
94 over 9.
Well, 188 is what? 94 over 9? Y'all check me.
Just said it, dog.
Oh, there it is. 94 over 9. Sometimes I can't hear y'all because I'm overlapping, so that's something y'all can complain about.
We would never complain about you.
No, never.
Number one rule of life, there's always one.
I done went to the
I
department. head
guarantee you,
about
up there in
before.
Pendleton, I got at least 12 people that hate me, so I know I'm going to have 12 evaluations. They're going to say,
And 3 here at Easley.
I really don't care about what Easley thinks.
That's part of something.
All right, next one.
I really don't care what Easley thinks neither, man. The only good thing that comes
That
out
was
of
number
Easley.
7. Number 16. 16, 2.1, number 16.
Easley
First
used
of
to be
all,
called
is
Pickens.
it a, oh yeah.
I'm not
These
kidding.
I love to put on the test. I think we've done one like this.
We don't give a damn.
Have we done one like this? Somebody look back in your notes. For the
No,
one or
sir.
two people, for the 1 or 2 people that actually take notes.
Yes.
PT over 4 minus 4 over 1 is equal to 8t minus 1 over 3 plus 4 over 1. Multiply through by the common denominator. What's the common denominator? 12 over 1. 12 over 1. 12 over 1. 12 over 1. 12 over 1.
Oh,
Rewrite your problem. I think we've done this one.
I got the one number off. That's it.
Minus,
The biggest letter.
what is it, Jake?
Sir,
What is it?
Is that question 4?
we all got the
2.1?
same problem as you, but mine's one number off.
Yeah, that's the way they do it.
His is perfect to yours. So you're gonna do all the work, he's gonna get the answer. Bull crap.
It's a conspiracy, Jake.
No, he's just
It's a Russian.
he's being a
It's the
Democrat right now.
Russians. Remember, Jake, remember this in the rest of your life, okay? If
Right.
something don't go your way,
Yeah.
or if you feel like you've been done wrong, you blame it on somebody else. You blame it on the Russians.
I'd rather blame it on the Chinese.
Whoa.
We got a Chinese over there. Ching Chang Chu.
Yeah, his great grandmother's aunt's cousin was Chinese.
But watch out, man. We owe them a lot of money.
We're getting some of it back right now.
They're not getting mine.
Their jobs. There's people leaving China like you wouldn't believe. They want to get work.
They can kiss my American ass.
Yeah, I don't think you got to worry about China with China money. Another couple of years, China's going to be in trouble.
I ain't scared. Bring them on over here. I give them the red, white, and boom.
All right, Jake. What's the answer?
Oh, I skipped that one.
That's 9t minus 48 equals 4 times 8t minus 1. 12 times 4 is 48. Make sure I didn't make a mistake. Because those 48s, what's going to happen to the 48 going to come over here? It's going to make, well, let's see. Let's go ahead and shoot it first.
He don't know.
9t minus 48 is equal to 32t minus 4 plus 48. And I'm going to go ahead and multiply those two. That's going to be negative 4 plus 48 is 44. So that's going to give me 9t minus 48 is equal to 32t plus 44. I'm going to bring the 9t over. And what's 32 minus 9? Dang old 23?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
44 comes over. Negative 44. That's negative 92. Dang old 4 times. Somebody check to see if it's 4.
Yes, sir. It's 4.
You can use bags, I don't care.
Which one is that in the?
Heck yeah. Got it right.
Y'all know when I say number 16 in your homework, y'all know what y'all need to start doing? Write it down.
Of course. Yeah.
There it is. See it right there. Number 16.
All I do is write shit down.
All right. That's a good problem. I don't know. I feel like we've done that problem before, but somebody can.
I looked. I didn't find it.
You didn't find it? Okay. Maybe it's one like it.
We did one like in the note. Yeah.
Okay.
We did have to distribute a fraction.
Okay.
We have to do that before.
All right. So that's that problem, and that is a good test question. So at least you're sending good test questions. You're not sending crazy questions. So that's a good thing. That was number 16, right?
Yes, sir.
So that takes care of that. Number 4, I think we've already done one. Okay, go ahead and do that one because it's kind of like the one we just did, and I don't mind it because it's a test question. And I know y'all suck at fractions in general. 90% of students suck at fractions, so it's good to go over.
Did I say 8?
Yeah, I'll rewrite it. I already took the roll, right? Yeah, I did.
I just sent him that one on that's not professor.
5x minus 4 over
This one's really
6
confusing.
minus x over 1 is equal to 1 over 1 minus x over 8. Now, what do you notice that I do whenever I have a fraction? I make all of them fractions before I even start. Again, that's one of those things, if you do 9 of these problems and you get 9 of them wrong, you might want to start doing what I'm doing. So what's the common denominator of 6 and 8? Well, be careful here because you may get the wrong answer. So I go over here and I'm going to make sure. 6, 8, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and sometimes 13. So 2 will go into 6 and 8, 3 and what? 4, and then 3, that'll be a 1 and a 4, and then 2, a 1 and a 2, and then 2, a 1 and a 1. So 8 times 3 is what? 24 is your common denominator. I guarantee you somebody put 48. 48 is not correct. And 48 will also mess you up because you'll write down the fraction at the end and it's not what? It's not reduced. Answer wrong. So 24 is your answer, is your common denominator. So I'm going to multiply through by 24 over 1. So that'll give me a 24 over 1, 24 over 1, 24 over 1, 24 over 1. This is a baby step I put in. So 5 times x minus 4 over 6.
Shelf behind us.
X over 1. 1 over 1.
Yeah, we'll bring
Minus x over 8. Okay, what do y'all got a question or not?
Yeah, but not about math.
What's your question?
I just found a rock in our classroom. It says just keep swimming.
Well, that means somebody brought it in on their shoe, okay?
Well, it says bring me to the front desk.
It's not global warming, okay? 6 into 24 would be how many times? 4 times?
Yes, sir.
And that's 24x, that's 24, and 8 will go into 24 3 times. Okay, so let's finish. So that's going to give us 4 times 5 is what? 20. X minus 80.
Oh, minus 80.
Now I did skip a step there, but you should see it. Okay, minus 24x equals 24 minus what's 3 times x?
So simple now.
So I'm going to. This is going to be negative 24x. I'm sorry, negative 4x. Negative 4x minus 80 is equal to 24 minus 3x. So I'm going to bring the 4x across the river. That's going to be positive 4x. And take the 24 across the river. That's going to be minus 24. So that's going to give me x is equal to negative 80 and minus 24 is negative 104. That should be the answer. Now, of course, you could plug it in to check it, or you could just plug it in once and see if it marks it wrong or not. I don't care which one you do. Negative 104. And you feel good about yourself. That's a good test question also. So you got good test questions to go over. Okay, that's 2.1. That's all of 2.1. So while we're at it, let's go and let's check and see how everybody's doing on their homework and see how many people are taking advantage of the teacher.
First everybody was us.
So this is
What do you mean
109.
taking advantage of it?
Huh?
What do you mean taking advantage?
Well, y'all have had 2 weeks to do homework, and you should be working on 2.1 right now. So let's see how many people are not doing anything.
Now, are we supposed to do 2.3 next?
Oh, no, I have no idea.
Well, because 2.2 is at the very bottom.
What does the outline say? After I go over 2.1, what do I go over?
2.3.
I like 2.3.
So I haven't covered anything really out of 2. I just did homework questions today. I haven't covered anything, but I will tell you where you need to be in just a second.
Fair enough.
Great book. So this is Pendleton. This is the Pendleton group. Let's see how they're doing. So there is the 2.1. Oh, no, that's not Pendleton. That's, I picked the wrong one. There we go. There's Pendleton. So, good. Y'all are doing good. Pendleton's doing good. There's only 2 or 3 people that's not doing anything, but Pendleton's doing real good. Okay, let's check.
Oh, somebody's already.
This will be this class, I think.
I wonder.
Y'all are doing good. And let's check Beasley.
Go ahead.
Beasley's doing good. So, y'all are doing very well. I take my words back. Y'all are doing very well. Y'all should be working on 2.1 and 2.3 right in there. Okay? Now, if y'all don't send me any questions, then I'm going to cover 2.1 and 2.3 as a section. Okay, so that way, somebody that's not sure about 2.1 or 2.3, I can help them out. Okay? Keep sending questions in. You should be sending in questions past 2.3. Okay? All right, y'all have a wonderful weekend.
Yes, sir.
Hey, go Giants.
Make sure you turn the Skype off when you leave, please.
Yes, sir.
No, don't turn the computer off. Just stay inside of it, please.